college football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on The Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We're currently looking to run an extended 4-hour version of Football Fridays because everybody wants it, and Coach Mac's full of stories right now. I think we got 4 hours in us, boys. What do you think?
Well, I do have a high school game tonight.
Oh, okay. So,
my God, I watched the Lone Peak one last week. That was a great game.
Yeah, let's see if Corner Canyon can bounce back tonight against Sky Ridge.
What was Lone Peak?
Lone Peak beat Corner Canyon last week.
It deserved it. It deserved the win.
Ryan Denny's defense at Lone Peak stifled Corner Canyon. I don't know that I've ever called a game of Corner Canyon where they were shut out for a half.
Yeah.
Ever.
They got shut out in the second half, and give credit to Ryan Denny and that defense because they made Helaman Kasuga uncomfortable.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
They moved him out of the pocket a little bit.
Well, I think they put pressure on him, and they made it, he didn't have a clean pocket, and he was constantly, I think, trying to maybe even second-guess what he was seeing. Good pre-snap kind of disguises. So I anticipate a great game tonight, in part because I can't imagine Corner Canyon didn't take that very hard last week.
Absolutely.
And so they've, I'm sure, had a good week of practice, and they're ready for Sky Ridge tonight.
I went to that Sky Ridge Lehigh game last Thursday.
Yeah.
And Sky Ridge was trying to give it away.
Yeah.
They were throwing every pick they possibly could throw,
right,
and doing everything they could, but Lehigh just could not capitalize, but really down to the wire. Now, Coach Mack, you said Sky Ridge, Corner Canyon tonight?
Yeah, Corner Canyon, Sky Ridge. Sky Ridge at Corner Canyon tonight.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cream of the crop right now, isn't it?
And going into that Lone Peak game last week, Helaman Kasuga had thrown 0 interceptions, and I want to say he threw at least 2. And the game you're talking about, the Sky Ridge Lehigh game, I think going into that game, Sweetwine might have been clean too with no interceptions.
I think it was 0 interceptions.
And he threw 3 interceptions.
Including a pick six.
And back-to-back possessions with interceptions. And I was very impressed with the way that he went to the sideline, hit the reset button, came back out, and their defense showed up big in the second half because Ika is he's one of my favorite running backs to watch.
Yeah.
And
he committed to BYU.
Did he?
Yeah, yesterday.
Love it.
Yeah, he verbally committed through social media, sent out all the posts, and he's headed to BYU. Okay, just because you both have an amazing eye for running back play, is he the type of talent that will translate to college?
Yes. And he's bigger than you think, He's listed at 5'10", but you get up next to him, he's got a strong lower body. And I like his, one of the things I always look is a guy's pelvic tilt. He's got this great pelvic tilt that just kind of always has him running downhill.
Yeah.
Right?
There is
his ability to maintain his speed while he goes lateral and then right back into north-south.
What I like to call pelvic tilt is a big shelf.
Yeah.
They got the big shelf that you could set a drink on because they're just big back end. Coach Mack, how often do you see a great running back in high school that just doesn't translate to college? Have you ever, when you were recruiting, did you ever just whiff on a running back?
Well, there was a guy at I remember when I was at Michigan that first spring with Harbaugh, and they had this giant tailback, right, that transferred back from USC or UCLA.
Yeah.
And so the running back coach said to me, he said, "What do you think about this guy?" I said, "He can't play." That's it. Because he always looked for the sideline, right?
Yeah.
But when he walked in the cafeteria, he'd say, "Oh my God, who's he?" And then finally one day I said to him, I've been here the whole spring and watched you. I haven't seen you do anything yet.
You said that to the kid?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
he just kind of looked at me like, who are you? You know, I'm just, free lunch guy,
Yeah.
I said, you're always looking for out of bounds, but I said, and then the running back coach showed me his high school film. He said, what do you think about him in high school? I said, he's all right, but he didn't jump out. Same way I felt. He said, I didn't want to bring him back, here. And but he looked the part, but he wasn't. But the real guys, you don't have to put a lot of film on the real guys.
Yeah.
In other words, there's probably, like with Jamal Anderson, I probably watched 5 reps of his junior college film.
Yeah.
Said, yeah,
I'm good.
He's good.
This guy can play.
Yeah, same thing with Chris Malfala. Same thing with these the great ones. You can watch 10 plays. You say, okay, yeah, because they just have a natural feel for what they're doing, and you don't have to talk yourself into recruiting them.
This is kind of where I want to start because Utah lost a pretty tough one to Texas Tech.
Yes,
it was pretty miserable, and there were moments where I felt like the run game was stalling out. So I want to start with this. How good are Wayshawn Parker and Nakari Rogers as running backs at the University of Utah? Now, I do want to throw this out because Utah is currently the 18th ranked rushing offense in the country at 243 yards. So they're getting their yards, and they're doing it through fly sweeps with Snowden or Benny. They're doing it through different movements and motions and rollouts by Dampierre. Mm-hmm. But 243 yards, so it's nothing to shake a stick at. It's something I'm excited about, but I'm just curious, how good are Wayshawn Parker and Nakari Rogers in the first 4 games we've seen them?
Okay, so both of those guys are quality running backs, and what I don't blame this last game. Utah did everything correctly to prepare for this particular game. In practice, off-season, everything, they got their ass kicked by a better team. Period. I mean, I watched.
Not a better coach team, but maybe more talent on that team. I know because everybody knows Texas Tech is emptying the bank right now.
Well, I'm just telling you, coaching-wise, player-wise, mentality-wise, they came in to play football.
Yeah.
Period. No excuses. None. Our first short yardage situation.
Yeah, the 4th and 1.
We got a high pad level.
Yep, off the left tackle.
They just knocked us back into another world. 4th quarter, they made us quit. Okay.
What is that? What is that? What happened? You just get tired of the stands and tired of the turnovers and tired of the short fields, or what?
In every game you play, there's a breaking point. Every game. There's a point where you either show up or you show down. And in the 4th quarter, we had a chance. And we missed 3 or 4 tackles, and the guy walked it into the end zone, and we showed down, and they showed up. It's not anybody's fault, except we got beat by a better team that day. And they wanted it more. They did the things to take it, and there's no excuses. So,
By the way, Coach, just to emphasize your point, the show up and show down is freaking real.
Oh, yeah.
It's real. And Alema, I know you've felt it in a game.
Yeah.
I have felt it in a game. I have felt the absolute showdown in a game, and I felt it once in the second quarter of a game.
Yeah.
Against Syracuse when everything was going wrong. And I'm looking at our offense like, you guys suck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because – and then everybody's looking for somebody to blame. But this was a whole team. This game wasn't just the offense. I mean, defensively, they're sitting there, they're playing man cover on the outside and saying, okay, if you can throw deep, go ahead. But you don't have receivers that can beat us deep. And then they loaded the box. They used they used a little twist game maybe 10 times in the first half, what I call a delayed or under twist, and we didn't pick it up. And here, and as far as our offensive line to their defensive line, in this particular game, they outplayed us. And then their second string quarterback comes in, and he looks like a Heisman Trophy winner. But Utah's preparation for the game, perfect. The way the players handle their preparation, perfect. There's nothing to apologize for, except we got beat, and we got beat on our home field. So now the key will be, what do you see tomorrow? And the key will be what Utah's team is really about. And I think this is a very good football team. And after losses, you have two types of locker rooms. You have one part of your locker room that's blaming the other part of the locker room for the loss. And so then all of a sudden, that part of the locker room ignores the other part of the locker room. Or you have the other type of locker room where everybody takes it personally. And then your locker room becomes quiet. Nobody's saying anything. And I like those locker rooms because everybody has watched the film. They've taken it personally. This is what I have to do. And every practice, they make it count. And then when they get off that plane in West Virginia, they said, we're here for business. Just like the team from Texas Tech. They got off the plane here in Salt Lake. They're here for business. So I give total respect to Texas Tech. Their coaches, their players, their preparation, their toughness, all that stuff. And did Utah prepare correctly for them? Absolutely. I mean, their practices were outstanding. I mean, I was at several of their practices. And there was no, like off day. So you're not saying, well, we took them lightly. No, what you see on film is what you see.
So, Coach, that makes me just a little bit nervous, and it just begs the question.
Okay.
Because Texas Tech is the upper third. Iowa State's upper third. Utah is now upper fourth. BYU's probably upper third. You got TCU that's really good. But Texas Tech does feel like they're kind of cream of the crop. I agree with you. Their fronts were so good. Their offensive front was awesome. They're so quick. So my question to you is, all right, they came in. We got beat. We just got beat. They came in. They were better on our field. Now my question is, let's say you see them again in a Big 12 championship. Or let's say you go to see Iowa State, or you go to see Arizona State in 2 weeks, another really good team. Is Utah just not as good as some of these teams, and can they not overcome that?
No. First of all, Utah's very talented. So let's not take away from the fact that they're talented. But I would say, in looking at the league, Iowa State tough-minded.
Lift up your mic a little bit there, Coach.
Tough-minded, gritty. Baylor, same way. You go to sleep on Baylor, they're gonna kick you into the next field. I love Arizona State.
Yeah,
I think they're physical, push you around, really good football team. I think BYU's a very good football team. I think Utah's a very good football team. There's a lot of good football teams in this league.
Really good
teams.
I think we're going to see teams just kind of get beat up. I think there's different teams that are going to beat up different teams.
I mean, I can't see Texas Tech every week playing like this. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Arizona State plays like a higher wire act. They play like their hair's on fire.
Because they got a coach that's got his hair on fire.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of parity, and a lot of good football teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I think eventually BYU is going to run into somebody, that's going to challenge them. We'll see where they go.
By the way, Coach Mack, a little bit under the weather, fighting through it, doing his thing. It's so funny because, Lloyd's like, hey, Coach, just take the Friday. And Coach Mack cusses out Lloyd.
Yeah.
Says, what are you even talking about?
Well,
There's no down times.
What I was thinking about.
Why you got to be tough all the time?
Well, you got responsibility, and Patty Edwards used to always call Vicky and say, I don't think Lavelle should be doing this show. And Vicky would go on, Patty says she's not sure. I said, yeah, he has to do the show because he needs to do the show.
Yeah.
Because it was good for him.
Hell yeah, it was good for him. It was good for us.
Yeah, it was good mentally for him. He was happy when he left here.
Yeah.
And he's happy when he came back. And it meant a lot to him.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Coach. After what you just went through on this Texas Tech-Utah thing, I want you to go back in coaching. I don't want to play for you.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Alema.
I'll
but
take that.
I want to go play for Coach Mack right now.
Are you going to show up?
Yeah.
Or are you going to show down?
Yeah. I want that halftime speech from Coach Mack.
So we're going to tell it like tonight. I'm excited. Arizona State and TCU.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Ooh, that's a big showdown on a Friday night showdown.
And I tell you
5:30 kick.
I love the quarterback from Arizona State.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Giants play on Saturday or Sunday, whatever. And here's Shadaboo over there, right?
Cam Scatterbo.
Scatterbo, yes.
And I can tell that some of those Giant veterans are thinking, how come they're highlighting this guy? Because look in that guy's eyes. He looks like a demon. Just hit him.
He does.
I said, give me the ball, man. I want to win this game.
Did you see him rip the ribs off of that Kansas City D-end? Did you see that,
No.
Alema? Chip blocked him. And Cam goes, what, maybe 5'11"?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
He came and Chip blocked him. Boom, right in the ribs, and the D-end crumples over, out for the game.
Really?
Off of just a chip block.
So
because
now-
everything Cam does is just menacing. And
Yeah.
like Coach Mack said, he's got demon eyes. And
I mean, they're looking at him and saying, and I'm thinking to myself, put me in the game. I'm saying, you damn right, I put you in the game. and I'm looking at the starting running back when he's in there, and they're going a picture of him, a picture of Scatterbrew, and I'm saying, no, dude, sit down. You know?
my comparison is, I think that Mike Allstott was a 3-inch, 4-inch, 30-pound more Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
if Cam was 3 inches, another 30, 40 pounds, that's Mike Allstott. Just a complete, unstoppable force.
Okay, so you know who the starting quarterback for the Giants from here
Lift your
out?
mic up there, Coach.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to be Dart.
Yeah.
Roy and Corner Canyon's very own.
You called a lot of his games, Lemon.
Yes, indeed. I called him since his freshman season at Roy.
So Dart is a lot like Scatterbrew mentally.
Yeah.
And his dad played for me.
Right.
And he played 7 years for me.
Jackson Dart's dad?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was back in the,
Brandon Dart.
back in the
position
day, it
was
might
he?
have been hard to get 7 years.
He was a corner. And he'd blow out a knee, and then I go see him in the hospital. He'd say, oh, Coach, I'm coming back. I said, this is your third surgery, dude. He said, I'm coming back. So I said, you want to keep playing? He said, yeah, I want to keep playing. What do you think I want to do? I said, well, if you're Brandon
7
Dart,
years.
if you're Brandon Dart, you probably want to keep playing.
7
Yeah.
years.
His little brother Diesel Dart's a good player over at corner now.
What's the position?
Diesel, he's a safety.
And he's a dude.
Yeah, he's a dude.
Has he got some offers?
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's got offers.
Does he?
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's committed anywhere yet, but he's a fantastic athlete.
Well, I'll tell you right now, man, the New York Giants just became my favorite team.
Yes. I'm with you on that.
Dart and
I tell you
Scatterbo.
what, they became my favorite team too.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Jackson went to Ole Miss, right? So I'm talking to Brandon, and so when I don't know if you know the head coach's personality is kind of he's a little off,
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So Brandon says to me, yeah, he was really nice to Brandon when they were getting him from SC to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Now he hardly talks to him. I said, well, once he starts producing, he'll talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about Brian Dable?
No.
Oh, who you talking-
the head coach.
The head coach at Ole Miss.
Oh, at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kiffin.
Kiffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's a different character.
Yes.
So Kiffin was at SC, right?
Yeah.
When my son-in-law was there. so I'd go down there and watch practice, and Kiffin's dad, awesome, was a defensive genius, the 2 deep secondary coverage guy, but Lane was a different dude, he was just. I asked my son-in-law, I says, does he ever talk? And he just kind of walk in and watch film and not say anything. But good football
Yeah.
guy,
But a different cat.
Different
that
cat.
guy, yeah, he's a little different.
Coach Mack, Lemmy Harrington, Hans Olsen, a Football Friday. More Football Friday coming up next.
All college football, all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, Hans and Scotty. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans Olsen, Lemmy Harrington, Coach Ron McBride hanging out, getting you ready for these football games that are coming up this weekend. And, guys, every once in a while you meet a listener that it just is different, right?
Yeah.
Lemmy, I know you've done this a lot of years, and Coach Mack, I'm sure as a coach, you've had a lot of people come up to you, and for one reason or the other, you hit something.
And you were just kind of there at that moment.
Yeah.
And I was just overhearing part of that conversation. And, this is not everybody's like you, Hans. Not everybody's approachable. Not everybody is the kind of person that will connect and genuinely, authentically connect with the audience. And so that's a tribute to you. And I didn't hear the details of that conversation, but I felt it.
Yeah. It's a deep one. I'm struggling to get over it. Our listeners out there deal with a lot, and you forget that sometimes this is their escape.
Yeah.
And you forget sometimes that, they really do take you as something more than just a radio guy.
Yeah.
So big thanks to that listener that just came in, and we love you, brother. Keep up the good fight, and I'm so proud of all of your advancements, everything that you've done to grow and to become great. And Lemmy, the addiction crisis.
Yep.
And you also know the redemption.
Yeah.
And this listener has gone through addiction and redemption. And
it's a beautiful thing.
Sure love him.
Yeah.
And a very touching thank you as he came in here. So trying to get over that a little bit. Coach Mack.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's happened to you a million times, right? People just think the world of you. Talk about approachable and lovable.
I tell you what, everybody has something different. And sometimes if you're just a good listener, and you pay attention. I mean, I give you an example. I went to the Instacare, right? And the lady at the Instacare was one of the best doctors I've ever been around. Because she sat there, she looked me right square in the face, and she said, "You have too many problems for me to deal with. And I can't give you the right diagnosis here. You need to go to the ER." And she looked me right in the face, and she said, "Sir, that's what you need to do for your own good." And she just didn't try to write me off as just just somebody.
Yeah, just another patient walking in. Let me check it off the list.
I mean,
Take your money.
No, she was so great. and she kept tapping me on the chest to tell me, Daddy, let me know, are you listening to me? You know what I mean? Like, I said, yeah, I got it, yeah. She said, what did I just tell you? And she said, I can't properly diagnose you here. I can give you an x-ray, but I can't properly, you need to go to the ER.
Tapping you on the chest
Yeah.
like you used to do to Doug Kafusi when he'd miss a combo block.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Why didn't you
then ask him, what did I just tell you?
Yeah, how did she say?
Repeat back to me what I just said.
I thought maybe she thought she was Vicky or something. I don't know. But she was so genuine,
Yeah.
I mean, it just the way she talked and the way she put it to me.
Yeah.
She said, here's what you need to do.
Well, to our listeners out there, we feel the same about you.
Yeah.
I mean, we do this because of you, and we love you, and we send our best wishes for you in your daily life. And I know things are hard sometimes, and
I'll
life
tell
can be
you.
so dang hard.
Everybody's fighting a different problem.
They are. Keep
I-
up the good fight.
I don't know who this quote is attributed to, but I remember I was working in recovery, and I walked into a guy's office, and it was, just a small room in this outpatient program that we were both working at, and on his wall was this saying that it was the first time that I had seen it, but it's been around for a long time, and it said, "Everybody that you meet is going through something you have no idea about, nothing about. They're in a fight that you know nothing about. Be kind."
Yeah.
Right? It's so true.
Just be kind.
And we get so caught up in our own, things that are going on in our own lives that, we inadvertently sometimes, without even knowing, that we take that out on other people and fail to recognize, take a moment to realize that everybody that you meet, on the surface it might look great, but everybody's got their stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody's fighting a battle that you know nothing about, and that you may never, ever know anything about. And they're just fighting that battle. Just be kind. Let's just be kind to each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Be loving.
Yeah.
I love it. Coach Mack, we were just talking about this Utah offense. I want to get your feeling just coming out of that Texas Tech game. Do you feel like there is still positivity, that there's growth, and things for Utah to be excited about?
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing is you don't need to be on the defensive trying to cover yourself up and say, okay, here's our problems. What's the solution? So, and that's, don't take it like it's this guy's fault over here, this guy's fault over here, this coach over here, or whatever. And so I think Kyle's comment is we need to throw that one in the trash, and it wasn't. I'm telling you what. If you're trying to look for somebody to blame. I don't know who I'd blame.
Yeah.
Because did the offensive line play as well as they can? No. Did the wide receivers do exactly what they needed to do? No. Did we turn the ball over 4 times? Yes. Okay. Did we lose the fourth quarter? Yes. Did we not tackle well at times? Yes.
Yeah.
So you look at all those things and you say, and we are talented. We're as talented as anybody in the league. But I'm telling you, the league is good.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and I think you find it, you get a wake-up call when you realize how good it is. Because here we thought we had a lot of answers, and the guy, and obviously the guy from Texas Tech got a lot of answers. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you watch that game tonight, what's going to be told. I mean, I think with BYU, they should handle Colorado. Because I think Colorado's an undisciplined football team. And Utah's speed, I think, will be too much for them. But let's say BYU doesn't take them seriously. and they go in there with the idea that they're just going to, we'll just show up and beat these guys. And it's not going to happen.
Oh, you'll get popped.
You get popped.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a thought, Coach Mack, just your observation of the Utah offensive line. So highly touted. Mm-hmm. So highly touted. Now, my film review of it was more exterior blocks. It was the movements of Lander Barton. It was Benny. It was exterior receivers. It was downhill running backs, missing blocks constantly on the outside. I'm not trying to protect an offensive line because I will absolutely air them out. But I didn't feel like the offensive line was as much to blame as some of the exterior.
Well, everybody had a problem. I mean, the center didn't have a great game. That nose guard just smashed him around pretty good. But the rest of the group played pretty well. I mean, they didn't play like in a minus game. But they could finish better. They could have done things better. All of that. But they didn't. But like you said, the wide receivers could have blocked better. They probably could have called some different things, and I'm sure they second guess themselves. But unfortunately you have days like that, but for our team, I think it was good for them.
Yeah, I think ideally, and we all know this, we've been around this game a long time, that ideally you would love to be able to learn some things in a game that you win. However, where you learn, where you grow and progress, oftentimes happens from a loss.
Yeah.
So what you want to have happen here is at the end of the season, right, you're 9 games, 10 games in, that you can look back at that game against Texas Tech and think, that was the best loss we had because it woke us up. You used the term wake-up call.
Yeah.
If you can use this as a wake-up call, then you can send notice to the rest of the Big 12. It's like, okay, we woke up. We got the message. The conference is good, but we're also good.
Yeah.
And then you make the changes that you need to.
We're going to take a quick break. We're live here at Tim Daly Mazda, Southtown. Come down and see us. Come down and check out these great vehicles. And we'll reset. We are going to get into the BYU Colorado game coming up at 2 o'clock. We've got a lot to get to. We'll take a review of the Big 12. And
I got to talk some LJ today. Can we do that?
Yes.
I'm a little kind of a fanboy with this kid, and I'm a little embarrassed by that, but I want to talk about that man.
We're going to speak a lot about LJ. That's all coming up on Football Fridays, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Football all day. It's a Football Friday right here on the Zone. Whether it's the Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, we've got you covered. This is a Football Friday edition of Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If you haven't had Kenny J's, it's about time that you get into Kenny J's because it's the best barbecue in the entire world. This segment is brought to you by Kenny J's. Kenny J's Catering delivers bold, smoky barbecue no matter the occasion. Check out the catering menu at KennyJ'sBarbecue.com for weddings, work, and any event. KennyJ'sBBQ.com. Okay, just kind of putting a bow on the Utah-Texas Tech game and now looking forward. Coach, I just don't think West Virginia is that good a team. But I did call a BYU game at West Virginia, and that's not a fun place to go play. And
No.
West Virginia out-physicaled BYU, and they beat BYU pretty good.
Well, I
2
tell you
years
what,
ago.
first of all, it's a couple of time zones away. They flew out yesterday at probably around 5 o'clock. So you just take a look, see how, luckily I think they're playing a mid-afternoon game, which is better. If they were playing a 10 o'clock game in the morning, I'd say no. I thought the same thing for Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Coming here playing a 10 a.m. game, I said, oh, these guys won't survive here. But they did. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think Utah is the better of the two teams. But we'll just see what happens when everybody shows up. I mean, I think West Virginia is kind of in a situation where they have to show up, because they're, I think, on the hot seat a little
Rich Rod's, he's just taken this team over, and but I also think about the desperation that the Utah squad's got to be feeling. That loss would be devastating because you just said we should see the true character of this Utah team at West Virginia. And Alima, they go to West Virginia and lose to a West Virginia team that has already suffered some bad losses and just doesn't look real good.
That's not the upper third. That may be the lower third.
That's the lower third.
Yep.
That's a broken situation.
Yep.
Even at West Virginia, that would be a broken situation.
So it's there are no gimmies out there in life. Nothing is a gimme. This is a win. This is a win. This is a win. This is a tough game. This game we should lose. It's not one of those deals where you look at the schedule and say, oh, yeah, we got 8 wins here. We're going to have 9 wins here. We'll probably lose this one here. I mean, it isn't like the magic fairy.
Just to put it in perspective, 2 years ago, we go to Texas. I call that game at Texas. BYU actually plays pretty well against Texas. There was moments that they were in that game. That was Slovis's last game, and we were getting ready to head to West Virginia. I'm studying West Virginia. They looked okay. They looked good, but I felt like BYU was a better team. I felt like Jay's defense was better. I felt like, that's a game that you should go win. And within the first quarter and a half, I looked at that game, and I was like, BYU is getting completely dominated in the trenches, something I just did not expect to see. They were dominating the trenches, both sides, getting through, getting pressures, getting push, and I'm like, oh, game over. Within a quarter and a half, the end of the second quarter, I'm like, this is going to be a long day and a long call. So you're right, Coach. It does not matter.
No.
And if Utah's like, oh, well, we'll go and we're going to get the comeback win, and it's going to look really nice, and I'm just hoping that they're all squared away. And I'm hoping that Coach Beck's offense looks like it needs to look because there's great numbers stacked inside this offense. But they're going to have to show it against West Virginia. More Football Fridays. It's Alima Harrington on LJ Martin. That's all coming up next.